there's a new term that I have for Nuno ball, which is Whimperball. We don't go out with a fight. We don't go into it with a fight. There's no fight. Nuno's mid-game management, his starting lineups, his tactics, everything about it is counterproductive to the winning the actual game of football. I I would take Bilic. I would take the academy coaches. I would take any of these guys to caretake it at the moment. I'm really starting to develop a disdain for this whole, wait till he gets his players. Like, you think that the guys that he's going for are going to be the answer? No, it's just not. It's just not it. You know, Nuno has he started this game with no striker. That was admitting defeat before the game even began. Uh, thought his choice of keeping Somerville just wasn't up for it. It just was not giving a good account. He hasn't really been these past couple of games, but then again, it just is. It's how he sets it up from the beginning, um, and the fact that he's saying we're playing for a clean sheet, kind of was the precursor of this. He's the harbinger of relegation. Uh, I would take Ange Ball over this because at least we would have gone out with somewhat of a fight. Um, yeah, first half, not starting with a striker. I mean, it was just not. Kilman had a good account of himself, but you know that it's not going to be like that every single game, and it hasn't been. So we have been a little bit reluctant to saying, "Oh, it's Kilman," but why no Mav? Oh, it's because he made that little mistake before in the last game. Why none of bringing? I just can't fathom it. And by the time Somerville was making all these mistakes, if I was Nuno, I would have plucked him, brought in Wilson, or started with Wilson. It's just how it is. Um, we're going down. This is a tough one. And I feel bad for Scarles. I feel bad for the kid because he had a good game. The last game he was put up against the odds. He was put up against the odds this game, and he had an unfortunate situation. By the time that whole thing played out, you had Wilson who had come in high energy in the second half, was up for it. Should have had that in the first half. He was up for it. And by that time, you had Scarles and everybody else who were just completely knackered. They were just absolutely shot to pieces by that time. And Fulham didn't play that much better, but they also when I saw the attempts that they were making in, I was like, what, these guys are going to come with a goal. It's just going to happen at some point. We always have that mistake in us because of how Nuno sets it up, and I don't blame Scarles. I blame Nuno for this one. Um, the poor kid was going out like really disappointed, and you know what? Declan went through it. When Declan came along under Pellegrini, and there were mistakes being made, people were saying that doing the same thing. Deck, leave up off the kid. That's all. That's what I'm going to say about that. Um, it's just there's no fight. This is Whimperball, man. This is just and this whole argument of wait till we get this and that and the third. Do you think Traore is going to be the solution to this? It's uh, and I'm not even entirely like Nuno out about this. I'm just like, there's needs to. I don't even know. It just uh, I'm ye of little faith going into Fulham. I'm ye of little faith going in, or I'm sorry, not Fulham, Palace and Wolves at the moment. Um, Wilson should have been a priority out the gate, and people say that he was reserved because of the financial commitment to every time he scores a goal. And people are saying that we're kind of setting up to go down in relegation because of the parachute payment. I don't know. I'm a little bit conspiratorial about that, but at the same time, I'm not really. buying it 100%, but it wouldn't surprise me if there was some sort of counterproductive logic because with this ownership, it wouldn't surprise me. But you know, Sullivan's an asset stripper. It's really what we've seen, and we didn't go out with any kind of fight. Um, I thought, you know, it's just it was set up tactically, and there was no the words tactic and Nuno are not synonymous with each other. It just isn't. He hit the lotto first time around with that 100% bounce back thing, but this he's not. It's not going to happen here. Um, yeah, I'm at a really heightened state at this moment because I'm just like we really went out like that. Fulham, they weren't prime Fulham. You know what I mean? They were a very beatable Fulham. Dare I say, under even Potter, we might have actually beaten them. Even under Moyes, we would have probably beat them. Though I would never wish those guys back, nor Loppy or anything like that. But those guys would have at least. I don't even know. Actually, can't really say that for sure. Nuno's in the same 10-year alumni school of thought as a lot of those guys in many ways, but uh we're in it. We're in the thick of it. And everybody's like, "Oh yeah, well we'll be playing Millwall. Millwall are going to be on the up as we're going down." uh oh boy. This is it pains me to say that, but it's the truth. How can you even deny it? We need to get back in this. Now we need to basically hang on for dear life so as to be able to make the bounce back in somehow to the Prem. This is ridiculous. I mean, I turned the game off right as soon as Fulham scored that goal because it was you know, to me it was a fruitless endeavor. Um, Nuno's mid-game management and all this stuff. Where was Guilherme? Where was Guilherme? A lot of people give flack over that. Anytime I've seen him out there, he's given it a good account, but it's how he's played and the frequency at which he's been played. And supposedly, there's a disconnect between him and Nuno. I didn't realize this until somebody had actually mentioned it on a show that I was watching before. I was like, wow, I didn't know that about Guilherme. But supposedly that's the case. But um, I don't even know, man. This is going to be a tough one. This is going to be a tough one to. We can't fight our way out of a paper bag at this moment. Um, we got rid of Fornals. We completely stripped down to factory settings on a cell phone, and now that cell phone has turned into a beeper. This is so, and now the cell phone's turning into a calculator. This is not West Ham, man. Like it just ain't. Um, I haven't. Man, Bilic, get him. Get the academy coaches. Get somebody. We need it. But then again, we know Nuno is going to be here. You know what I mean? Kilman had a good game, but was it worth 40-45 million signing? I don't think so. Um, because everybody has every player has a good game, bad game, whatever. But Kilman, it just isn't the answer. And yeah, this is a pretty tough one to eat at the current moment. Um, it would have been better if Nuno had actually done something that was of progressive value, but it just wasn't. Um, Man, oh man, it's a travesty at the moment. It really is. Starting without a striker, playing our players in the least suited positions. I mean, it just is. It is what it is at the current moment. It's pretty. It's a pretty matched assessment of things at the current moment. It's like, this is kind of a everyone and their mother knows exactly what we're going to be coming with every single game under Nuno. It's going to be a walk in the park. Palace aren't losing sleep. you know, um, I don't think Wolves are either. Um, Boy, oh boy, come on, you Irons! Like this is just don't know what to make of it. Yeah, everybody's like the transfer window in January, the this, the that. I don't think it's going to be that easy. There's no way it is. There's no way it is. I'm trying not to get too intense at the moment because the dogs around me and the missus and everything. I don't want to, make it get loud and everything like that. But this is we're going down at the current moment, and it's not something I enjoy saying. And everybody, there's the split of like, well, no, we got to stick to Nuno. We got to stick to Nuno. I don't think we have much of a choice. I think he's here, but I would rather not stick with him. I wouldn't be upset if he was not here at the present moment or was replaced by somebody else. And I had high hopes for him. I was like, you know what, maybe we're going to see something where it's, if it, I think I say that every single time there's a new manager that comes in. I'm like, well, like I take little bits and pieces throughout their career where they had some moments that defined some kind of like football forward thinking, whatever, good, whatever results. I take that, I blow it out of proportion and have high hopes that they're going to reenact that and take the good points of that to us, and it never happens because I neglect to look at the other side of the coin of their 10 years at these other clubs and exactly what happens, and they all have fallen in line with the same rationale as far as picking managers under the current ownership. BS out, Nuno out, but what options do we have? Nuno out, but I'm afraid that's not going to be the case. I hope. I just don't know. Village in. This was just. Why was Mav not started? Oh, because of the mistake last game and whatnot. Nuno, you could tell, is very decisive, sometimes to a fault on things that don't necessarily need that kind of decisiveness. And then he sticks with things that are not progressive throughout the game. It's counterproductive football. It's whimperball. That's just what it is. Everybody have a good evening, afternoon. That's just my thought at the current moment. Um, man, man, there's all that service with no reception on the end of it. Nuno, think, man. Come on, you Irons.